What is up, my friends? How are we? Life is looking that little bit better today, right? We know who the target is. Liverpool going after Martín Zubimendi of Real Sociedad. The only question is, are we going to get it done? Are we going to get it over the line? Do you know what? I've got to say, I've got a good feeling about this. I know we're going to get Arsenal fans and United fans coming into the chat to say, no, he doesn't want to come to the Prem, Craig. He's already said no to Arsenal. He's already said no to Manchester United. I get that. I respect it. But I also disagree with it. And I'm going to tell you why over the course of the next 90 minutes or so. Thank you to everyone that had a chance to watch our interview with David Lynch earlier on today. It is also out in podcast form as well. So remember, just search Anfield Agenda wherever your podcast platform of choice is. So let's talk Turkey, right? Let's talk numbers. Let's talk structures. I was reading through the comments from the video earlier on as well. A lot of people have questions about why Liverpool, as an example, might look to use some outside financing options for the deal. I'll do my best to talk about that. And of course, any other questions that you amazing guys and girls have over the next while. Let's get going. Somebody said you're wearing Nike. I know, yeah. I was working away in something else, and usually I have a mix of tops, and Adidas is my, obviously, top of choice, but I forgot to change the top, and then I looked up and the clock was there, and I was thinking, wow, got to get yourself onto the stream. So I thought, you know what, we'll break with tradition and we'll go with a Nike top today. So yeah, I hope you don't mind me wearing Nike for once, but it's a good day. It's a celebratory day. So let me just get a few things sorted on the back end here, and then we will get your super chats and comments up on screen. Oh lads, I'm buzzing. Honestly, I'm buzzing today. I'm sure you amazing people are as well. Right, so let's get cracking. First super chat of the day coming up from Daniel. Daniel, how are we? Right, so Daniel said, how happy will you be on a scale of 1 to 10 with Zubimendi? Right, how happy will I be? I think it's a solid 8.5, 9, Daniel. Gotta be. Very good player. Lots of things that I want to give you insights on tonight as well with regards to why this could be possible for us and maybe not for other Premier League clubs. But yeah, I'll be very happy, mate. Very happy indeed. Certainly wouldn't be complaining about it. We've also got some comments from Fabrizio Romano that basically say, watch this space. Liverpool are going to get cracking now on a few more deals as well. Another super chat that I want to bring up from Akshay. And thank you, Akshay, for your super chat. Get 1k likes going or else City will win the court case. Well, you know me, bro. I don't need any incentive to ask people to hit that like button. So, you magnificent people, if you haven't, please do drop an early like on the stream. And let's get cracking, see if we can't make sure Man City don't get away with that case. Mark, our chief moderator as well. Thank you, Mark, for your 32 months of amazing membership. Absolutely legendary stuff, Mark. Thank you, mate. 32 months with us, and a lot longer than that, I would imagine as well, mate. So look, let's get cracking on the good news. LFC Love, welcome to Anfield Agenda FC. We're only a few minutes in and we've already got 2,000 people in the chat. I feel like we're in for a special night tonight, so let's get talking about it. Your comments are, of course, really impressive and really important to me, so get them going in. I have another one to bring up on screen straight away as well, right? And then I'm going to have to get into the news, so bear with me. Everyone's excited and I love it. These are the days I live for, by the way. Absolutely, these are the days I live for. The days where we get to come on together and celebrate some possible good news, but certainly a move in the right direction, right? Zubimendi and Mackett in the double pivot is dirty. It is indeed. I said that to David Lynch a little bit earlier on as well. I'm already getting excited about the possibility of those two in the double pivot. Another super chat here coming up from Walter May said, who do you think is the 10? Elliott deserves it, but we lack pace and power in midfield. I think that's why Szoboszlai is coming in again, but harsh for Elliott. I like battles. I like where the manager has good headaches, my friend, and let the fight commence. Let the battle commence for those number 10 spots, you know, whether it is Elliott, whether it is Szoboszlai, whether Carvalho stays around and it's him, I don't mind. But I tell you what, as the poster said a moment ago, that double pivot idea of Zubimendi and McAllister, that's special. That is absolutely special. Our YouTube mammy, Liz, is in the chat as well. Liz, how are you, my friend? Always a pleasure to see you in. She said, let's effing go. Get it done. I'm trying to watch my swearing a bit today because of all the streams. I don't want to get this one demonetized because it's a special day, and I don't want to get it ruined on a financial standpoint as well. Harry Klein, super chat from you, my man. Let's see what you said. Alonso 2.0. Alonso was my favourite Liverpool player ever. And I'm going to actually touch on that in a minute, Harry, about why that could be an important factor in this whole discussion. Liam, thank you for your super chat, my man. Liam Nesty said, I'm worried it will fall through, Craig, after hearing he does not want to leave Spain. Again, I understand it, but I'm here to hopefully allay some of those concerns for you, my man. And I'm going to, as soon as I finish reading these chats out, I'm going to get stuck into some of the devil of the detail here and why I think we could be okay. How long are you on tonight? You know me, mate. I don't set times on these things. As long as you guys are here and we're having fun and we're going through what we need to go through, I'll be here till you don't need me to be. So look, I'm going to give you a bit of a rundown on the day. So obviously we got a Joyce bomb earlier on this morning. Paul Joyce was the one who came out and said, it is Mr. Martín Zubimendi that Liverpool are after. I want to give a little shout out to somebody who I like to call friend of the channel. Not somebody who I think is the most super duper duper person with regards to news, but I like him. So I'm going to give a shout out to our friend. Somebody who, I'm not going to say Indy Kayla, by the way, because no, but Ivan Schwackhoff. Friend of the channel. Somebody who I always has a kind word to say about us. He was saying this last night as well, so shout out to Ivan. Right, another super chat, and then I'm going to run down everything because I know people are coming in to get the information, and I always feel really guilty when I'm reading out super chats as well. So, think we buy a left centre back, a type left back in Capie / Lukeba. We are certainly looking at the area of left centre back, and as David Lynch said, I believe on a Twitter space or something earlier on, do keep an eye on the left back situation, particularly if Costas does move on. Jake has a super chat as well, said, hey Craig, don't want to be a downer, but I hope we aren't putting all our eggs in one basket with Zubimendi. Can't go through another Caicedo disaster. So that's as good a point as any to kick us off tonight, right? So a lot of people are going to have that concern, and I think it's understandable that Zubimendi has turned down the advances of Arsenal. Zubimendi has kind of given a cold shoulder to Manchester United. But there's a couple of things going in our favour here. One, Richard Hughes has a very good relationship with his agent. We've spoken about that before. He's the same agent that is the agent for Iriola, the manager that Richard Hughes bought into Bournemouth. On top of that, as pointed out earlier on by, I believe, Harry, Zubimendi's hero, his idol, the guy who he had posters up on his wall growing up, was none other than former Liverpool legend and current Bayer Leverkusen manager, Mr. Xabi Alonso. So there is that going for it as well. But one more thing I would say. Michael Edwards and Richard Hughes are not George Schmadtke. I don't believe that Liverpool even entertain going into this conversation unless we truly believe we have a good chance of getting the Zubimendi deal done. Now, from the player's perspective, that's where the convincing needs to be done. And that's where we're working. And I think positive vibes are coming back. The club will have been aware of fans' frustration last year at the Caicedo and the Lavia situation. Of course, they would know that. So I don't think they're going to set themselves up for another failure because quite simply, we'll lose our minds, right? We'll get really angry about it and frustrated as fans. It will look like we're a tin pot club and it will look very, very bad. So I don't think Michael Edwards is going to let that happen. So that's what I'd say first and foremost. On top of that, I want to talk about the fee for a moment. €60 million is Zubimendi's release clause. Now, we had a conversation with David Lynch earlier on the channel and we spoke about the fact that Liverpool may look to use some outside financing if they are concrete on wanting all of the release clause in one go. So there's a couple of trains of thought. Option one, Liverpool go in, pay the full release clause in one go and trigger the contract, and then we talk to Zubimendi. Option two, Liverpool agree a higher fee than the release clause, but we work it in a payment structure that is more favourable to us. And then there's the option of obviously exterior financing and Liverpool looking to go out and take a loan. Now people might say, hang on, whoa, Craig, that's bad. Why are they looking to take exterior financing for a deal? Cash flow is the answer. In any business, and any self-employed person will tell you this, the death of many businesses is a lack of cash flow. So Liverpool won't want to put all their financial eggs in one basket if we have to pay the full amount up front for Zubimendi. So we will look to kick the can down the road a little bit there, maybe take in some exterior finance, which would allow us to go after other targets in the market without messing up cash flow. That's the very simplistic answer for this situation. So don't be concerned if you do hear phrases like Liverpool are looking for exterior finance. It's very common in football that these things happen. And when you're looking at the cost of something over 4 or 5 years as well, it makes sense from a bookkeeping perspective when you amortize these things. So again, I would not be concerned. Of all the concerns we may have on things, that's one I would say to people, feel a little bit calm. Right, a couple of more things to go through. Tanya Wheatley gifted a membership. Thank you, Tanya. Very kind of you indeed. Welcome. Oh, no, we've got, what's that? Receding Hairline, member for 3 months. Welcome, my man. And then we've got a comment from Stevie Boy. How are you, bro? Let me get your comment up on screen. Said, Bastoni next on Liverpool's radar. Edwards is an admirer. I'm unsure on the Bastoni thing because, and I'm not saying it won't happen. I'm not saying it's not possible. They do have some problems financially at Inter Milan. But it doesn't really suit the profile of centre-back that Liverpool are initially looking to bring in, which is somebody you wouldn't be expecting to come in and start straight away. Maybe somebody who can grow into the role over a year or two. But look, we'll move on to talk about that a little bit later on as well. Get Klarna on speed dial, said Mike. Look, it's not unusual. Genuinely, it isn't. It's not out of the norm at all for football clubs to do that type of thing. As I said, cash flow is key in any business, and there's nothing worse than having ideas or the possibility to do something and not having the cash flow to go and make it happen. Exactly what Ethan Bro said there. For everybody saying Bastoni, we want a centre-back to compete, not just come in and start straight away. One other thing to take into account with Zubimendi is just looking back over his injury record is pretty goddamn impressive. He doesn't have too much injury concerns there. Sociedad are now willing to accept that they may lose the player this summer. Ultimately, the decision's going to come down to Martín Zubimendi himself. Does he want to move away from his boyhood club? But I think that Xabi Alonso factor and the fact that his hero came to Liverpool and his career catapulted from that point. And he is his idol. Xabi Alonso is Zubimendi's idol, obviously both from that region of the world as well. I'm going to go through some more stuff. We're going to talk about that Georgian goalkeeper, Mamardashvili, a little bit as well later on. Right, so Liverpool are very serious about Zubimendi and he's thinking about the move, is one report. Real Sociedad already know that the English clubs are willing to pay €60 million, which is his clause. It'll be down to the player, who was very attracted by the proposal. So one of my favourite points of today has been the amount of United and Arsenal fans in our comments who were saying, yeah, it's not going to happen, lads. You know, he didn't want to come to England. He didn't want to come to Arsenal United. Sometimes it's about the right vision, the right project, the right pitch, the right time. And look, think about this, like somebody said earlier on. Zubimendi and Alexis McAllister in a double pivot. Come on now. Special. So I'm excited. But look, I was excited about the Caicedo deal as well. I just do get the feeling that Liverpool aren't going to want to have egg on their face, like we've seen twice last summer with Lavitt and Caicedo. How confident are you that we get this deal done, said Eddie Cox Wilkins. So my confidence or my thought processes are based off conversations I've had with other people, because I've always been honest with you guys and said I'm not inside this deal. I don't have anything other than the few bits and pieces that I've seen, spoken with David Lynch, messaged a couple of other journalists. I'm going to say 8 out of 10. So I'm 80% that we'll get this deal done. One thing to keep in mind here, by the way, again, I think has caused a little bit of confusion among some people. This wasn't a deal that was briefed by Liverpool. This wasn't leaked out to... Liverpool didn't want this coming out. So Paul Joyce or whomever was doing the undercover work on this, and look, credit to some of the ITKs as well. I mean, Anfield sector were on about this last night. Full credit to Barry there as well. Liverpool didn't want this coming out. So this isn't Liverpool briefing it. Liverpool wanted to go about this in the background quietly, but it was discovered, shall we say. Now, Liverpool are on the charm offensive to make sure they can convince Zubimendi to come to Anfield. Another super chat I've got to bring up on screen here. Sam said, I'd borrow a few quid for the deal to go through. The only reason, Sam, we'd even look at borrowing, mate, is, as I said, to make sure that we had the cash flow to go after a centre-back or another position or two that we might need, or dare I say it, Anthony Gordon. And that's not going away either. And I'm going to move on to talk about that a little bit later on as well. Lots of these things, by the way, were covered in the video we did with David Lynch earlier on. And you will also see that that's up as a podcast. So if you're driving or anything like that, you can get the exact same David Lynch interview on podcast form as well. Just search Anfield Agenda. Right, another super chat. Thank you, my friends. And all right, lads, the ace in the negotiations might be in the amount of Latins in our squad. It's 50-50 and it's up to the man himself. I'm putting my faith in Michael Edwards here, bro. That's where I'm putting my faith here. Michael Edwards doesn't like not getting stuff completed. So I think Michael Edwards is going to lay on the full charm offensive here. Pitch the vision of that generational midfield with him and McAllister. And I think realistically, that would give us the ability to go out there and look at this league and say, let's go win it. You know, we're not complete yet. We still have a few pieces in our squad. If we got Zubimendi in, we need to sort. But I'll tell you what, it isn't half an exciting prospect, is it, to see that midfield of Zubimendi and McAllister. Right, my friends, we are now 20 minutes in. We're closing up 600 likes already. Do hit the subscribe button. Do drop a like if you haven't done so. Craigo, Zubimendi or Ederson, who do you want? Look, I've loved Ederson all summer, but I'm not going to sit here and say I'd be in any way disappointed about Martin Zubimendi. I wouldn't. My whole thing about Zubimendi has always been, I haven't watched that much of him. You know, I'm not going to sit here and say I watch much of Real Sociedad. I don't. But those who know a lot more than I do are very complimentary. And we've taken our time to sort this out. Remember, as I've said all this summer, this is our third year entering into a search. And Liverpool weren't willing to go for just anybody. It was somebody who had to be a huge improvement on what was here, and somebody who would be an undoubted success. And I think they feel Zubimendi will be as close to a guarantee as possible. I want to give a little shout out to one of our viewers as well. George, how are you, young man? George said to me a couple of days ago, and I met him in Cardiff, and I met him in Liverpool at the live shows, and in our Discord group, Craig, Zubimendi, have you heard anything? And I had to say, no, George, I hadn't. Over the past couple of days, I've really been thinking about George and how happy I know this is going to make him as well. So, hope you are enjoying this situation, young man, and hopefully we get it sorted out. Right, Jack Dempsey, thank you for your super chat, my friend. Said, Fabrizio saying this is not the only deal we're working on and Liverpool will be very busy throughout the rest of the month. Let's go. You're right. I've got that exact Fabrizio Romano post here for you, mate. 1 second. Let me just get this one up. So, which one is it? Nope, not that one, not that one, not that one, not that one, not that one. Scroll down, Craig. 1 sec. My notes are so long today, folks. Where is it? Where is it? So, he said, trust me, this is Fabrizio Romano, by the way. Trust me, it's not just Zubimendi if it happens. For Liverpool, they're looking at other positions. Liverpool will be, all capital letters, busy in August. Look, if this comes off, we get Zubimendi and a couple more in, look, it's party time, you know? Then all the pain and suffering and frustration and aggro, and it'll be worth it. It'll be worth it if we get these deals, the right deals, over the line. Another super chat to bring up on screen. Oh my god, my favourite account name ever. Earthworm Jim. Earthworm Jim, from soil he did crawl. Earthworm Jim. Sorry, I'm showing my age there. Earthworm Jim has said, Craig, I'm happy with Kwanzaa as a centre-back, reliable and ready for the challenge at a moment's call. Also, Darwin will come good, for real. I agree on Darwin. I'm expecting a big year from Darwin this year. Kwanzaa will come good, but I still think we do need that extra centre-back, you know. Kanade, Kwanzaa, Van Dijk, and keep Gomez around as a utility man. But I still think that Sepp van den Berg space will free up and we'll need to fill it. Right, Danny Bingham. Let me get your super chat up, Danny. Danny said, Craig, sorry I missed your show. I messed up the times. Happy it went well and not to get ahead of myself, but we're winning the lot. You know, it's good to see that you're so calm and measured about it, mate. And I'm with you. You know, not to get ahead of ourselves, but we're winning the bloody lot. We're winning the lot, my man. We are. If Zubimendi gets done, then you can take your Declan Rices and shove them. You can take your Caicedos and shove them. Because it will be another masterstroke from Liverpool where we get a player who's equally as good as all of those guys for half the price. As long as it works out. Now look, we do have to confirm as well those two friendlies. The Echo. Lads, I know you love ignoring Anfield Agenda, Echo. But I'm not going to get off your back until the quality of your work starts to lift up. It is an absolute shit show over there on the Echo. I read out last night again. They're still reporting that Liverpool's two friendlies, or at least they were up until last night, one Saturday, one Sunday. They're both on Sunday. Liverpool play at 12:30 against Sevilla. Then Liverpool play at 5 o'clock against Las Palmas. Both on Sunday. Both going to be available on LFC TV and LFC TV Go as well. There will be fans inside the ground for the Sevilla game. There won't be any for the Las Palmas game. So, I'll make a deal with you, Echo. Stop willfully ignoring us, and I'll stop picking up on every single one of your errors, like misspelling players' names, just as an example. I'll be your proofreader if you want, for the right money. Right. Fidget, how are you, mate? It's nice to see Anthony in the chat, but I won't. Craig, how are you doing? Good luck in the Prem. Thank you, my friend. I'm doing tickety-boo right now, my man. Tickety-boo. Crack-a-lackin', some might say. Another one. Here we go. David H. Thank you, David, for your support, my friend. Mac Jones, Soboslai, Zubimendi, and kids winning it all. I'm glad to see we're all being so realistic and measured tonight. We're not getting ahead of ourselves one bit. Not like us, you know. Honestly, I'm buzzing. I'm honestly buzzing. Echo fell off a cliff. They did. Back in the days, like, the Echo had some really, really, really good journalists. But, you know, you guys see me on here pointing out stuff time and time again from the Echo, and I don't get it. Like, I don't understand how a publication with professional journalists can be so poor. But then again, they ignore Anfield Agenda, so clearly they don't know where the finger on the pulse is. They don't know where they should be looking. It's alright. But, and look, I've nothing against any of the individuals. I don't know Ian Doyle. I don't know Paul Gorst. I'm not going in on any of them individually, but, like, it's not great, lads. It's not great. Right, Rustam Dalal, how are you, sir? And thank you for your super chat. Said, Craig, this news has got my pulses racing. Long time waiting, and guess what? He's a European champion. Indeed he is. Indeed he is. Don't say that to our English friends, though. No, he is. And do you know what? If my memory's right, and maybe you can help me out on this one, Did he come on for Rodri in the final, and then shortly after he came on, Spain scored? If my memory's correct, I think that was what happened. Liz, thank you for gifting an Anfield Agenda membership as well. Also, want to make a little announcement. We're going to order 50 Anfield Agenda mugs, and we're going to put them up to see if you guys want to buy them or not. We're going to price them at about £12 plus shipping, and we're going to get cracking with that soon. So I'll let you know when they're going to be on sale. We've listened to your feedback. Everyone that we've shown them to is really happy with how they look. So we're going to order 50 anyway to start off with and see how we get on. Right, let's get going with more news. So Fabrizio Romano's also said Liverpool are on it for Zubimendi. They're prepared to go big on the club side and the player side. Very optimistic about getting the deal done. On top of that, we have David Ornstein, who said Sociedad are aware of Liverpool's interest on Martin Zubimendi. No bid yet. The La Liga club don't want to sell, but if the 25-year-old asks, they will grant his wish. Sources at Sociedad say, according to David Ornstein, midfielder yet to fully communicate his decision. Asentino, thank you, mate, for gifting 5 Anfield Agenda memberships as well. Apologies, I didn't get to that one a bit sooner, bro. Mark very kindly gave me the nod, and thank you, mate, for that as well. It's incredible. We're 818 likes, so remember, do hit that like button as well. And I've got more stuff to talk about tonight because we've got to speak about Mamiradashvili as well, the Valencia goalkeeper, so we're going to touch on him in a while. There's been some broad links as well from Florian Plettenberg on Max Bayer, who, I don't know why he wrote this, but this is what Plettenberg said. Liverpool have never lost their focus on Maximilian Bayer. There were talks in recent days and weeks, but we've been told again today Bayer has clearly decided to join Borussia Dortmund over all other options. Process is ongoing to reach a total agreement between Dortmund and Bayer. Look, Plettenberg, to many of us, mate, you lost a lot of credibility, which are nonsense, over Xabi Alonso. And I don't, every time I see Plettenberg's name now, personally, I just gloss past it because, yeah, I'm going to say it, I don't like him. I don't like him. I don't care what he has to say anymore. He showed his incredible bias towards Bayern Munich during the whole Xabi Alonso situation, and it's something that I know many Liverpool fans just quite simply aren't going to forget about. So, yeah, we'll gloss over Plettenberg and what he has to say. Right, so Chris Tatton Music, how are you, sir? Said, alright, Craig, how are we? Been a while since I've been in the live, but hope the shows went well. When do we ship Darwin on if he doesn't improve? Well, he will improve, so we won't be shipping him on, Chris. Let's stay with positivity tonight, even if it's delusional positivity, mate. Let's stay with it. I think he deserves one more year. One more year, because we've a new coach. You know, if it was Jurgen that was staying on, I think people might say, well, Jurgen maybe isn't able to get the best out of Darwin, or figure a way to get Darwin involved as much as he would have wanted, or to sharpen him up as much as he would have needed. But I feel like under a new coach with Arne Slot, he definitely deserves that time and patience to see what he can do. And I think all signs are going to point to a lot of goals. That's my own take on it. Sean, welcome to Anfield Agenda Ultras, my friend. Appreciate you. Here's our friend Russian Honey Badger. How are you, my friend? Let me get your super chat up. Hey Craig, thanks for helping me out with the game against Arsenal. I had a blast and got to meet Hippia and Lucas Leiva. Mate, look, it's a pleasure. It's an absolute pleasure. That's what we're about. You know, we are about community on here. Mike was very kind to reach out to me as well to say, if you're going to the game, he'd be happy to meet up. I'm glad you got to see the lads. I'm glad you got to go watch the Reds. And got the win as well. Even though it is pre-season, it's always nice to get the win, isn't it? Anfield Sector have said Zubimendi is going to say yes. Ooh. Right. So Anfield Sector have said, breaking, Martin Zubimendi is ready to say yes to Liverpool. We're getting close. Breaking, according to Anfield Sector, Martin Zubimendi is ready to say yes to Liverpool. And Liverpool is very, very firmly ready to say yes to Martin Zubimendi and embrace that magnificent man. Right, another super chat from Manny. How are you, Manny? Let me just get your comment up, my friend. Manny said, Craig, mate, you look like a pint of Guinness. I think we'll get a here we go in 48 hours. I could make a joke about head there with the pint of Guinness, but I'm trying to keep it PC for the minute, but or PG, I should say, for the minute. But yeah, look, it's always difficult to get the balance when you're wearing a black top. The camera and the lights don't like black tops, so. But appreciate your super chat, mate, and I hope we get to here we go soon as well. I'm getting a boing right now, said the canter. You know, I'm not here to judge, bro. I'm not here to judge. Sir Scotty said, 24 hours, I think we get a here we go. Can you tell me if you're doing both games on Sunday? I am, yes. We're going to cover both the friendlies on Sunday. Obviously, we'll be live at about 11:45 or so for the Sevilla game. Then we'll take a break and we'll come back for the Las Palmas game. But 100% yes, we're preparing for back-to-back watch-alongs. Do you think we'll see Zubimendi on Sunday? Oh God, it's a really good question. Maybe. I mean, it might be a nice time to do the unveiling if it comes off, right? You know, what would have to happen there? Well, obviously we'd have to agree the fee. He'd have to get permission for the medical. I would imagine then, you know, these things usually player comes over, does everything, goes back, says his goodbyes, and then comes back again. Oh, there's a chance. I don't think we'll see him on the pitch. No, but there's a chance we could see an unveiling or a presentation. A really kind super chat from Joe. Hang on, Joe. Said, I'm so glad to be a part of this amazing community. Craig, I'm in love with the idea of Zubimendi. So I don't think we need a poll today to say are we happy with the idea of Zubimendi. So I'm a bit of a shithouse. Sorry, I am. By nature. Is it just me who's going to take an incredible amount of happiness from the tears of Arsenal and Manchester United fans if Liverpool can convince Zubimendi to come? Be honest with me. I'm not the only one who's going to be just basking in the fuckery of it all, right? I'm not the only one. Because I've read all those comments. Oh, I read them. When you go, deluded Liverpool fans, ha! It's going to be funny when Zubimendi says no because he doesn't want to Prem. He didn't want to come to United. He didn't want to go to Arsenal. He's not going to want to go to Liverpool. Yeah, good. I knew it. I know my audience, and I knew that you guys would be right there with me on the wah, wah, wah. Smug AF indeed. Yes, you won't need to guess what's happened when I come on to do that stream. It'll be kind of the I told you so t-shirt will be out. Not for you guys, for the doubters. Lads, we're nearly at 4,000 live viewers. I mean, what a night. You know, we do love a transfer story, and August is always a good month. I'm waiting for Joyce or Fabrizio, said Corrin. Well, Paul Joyce did get the news out this morning, early doors. Yeah, now look, I'm buzzing right now. Not just because of the whole potential in Zubimendi, which is great, but because you've got the likes of Fabrizio Romano and others backing up to say Liverpool aren't finished here. Liverpool are going to be busy, and Liverpool are going to keep making moves in August. We're going to see some players leave as well, of course, and we'll talk about that over the course of the next couple of, I was going to say the next couple of hours, but the next hour or whatever it is we're on. Brad said, when Michael Edwards knocks, you listen. Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. Yes, I mean, there's a big difference between Michael Edwards and Richard Hughes in this situation and, let's say, George Schmadtke last year. So I want to just read you out a couple of bits and pieces, actually. 1 second. I'm trying to get as much information on this as possible. So one option, as we said earlier on, is that Liverpool offer more than the release clause, but we pay it in installments to make it a little bit more favourable to us with the old cash flow. Another comment said, Liverpool are serious about Zubimendi and thinking about it. Sociedad already know the English club are willing to pay the release clause, and it'll be up to the player who decides. Paul Gorst has said, 2 key elements of Liverpool's summer business were thought to have been Richard Hughes' knowledge of Spanish and the Italian market, and the club's ability to discover and meet release clauses in contracts. Martin Zubimendi interest is perfectly in line with those. I'm going back through all of my notes here, just so I don't forget anything. Lewis Steele said Liverpool have earmarked Zubimendi as their top target to strengthen the number 6 department. That has been a clear area in need of improvement for some time. If it comes after a lengthy due diligence and scouting process. I think lengthy is an understatement there. 3 years. 3 years to find this guy. And he was right there under our noses all along. Ian Doyle, also of the Echo, said, should it be completed, the transfer of Zubimendi would likely trigger a number of moves in the market for Liverpool ahead of the August 30th deadline. Now, of course, we won't all be talking about just incomings because there will be a few potential outgoings at Liverpool as well, and we're going to discuss those tonight. One super chat to come up from Alex. 1 second, Alex, my man. Just seen on Twitter, he's told Liverpool yes. Look, I know we all knock some ITK stuff at times and some Twitter accounts, but sometimes they get it right. So Barry, Anfield Sector, Mr. Schwackoff, you got to give the credit. Anfield Sector have been very quick on this. They've been, I think, even ahead of Paul Joyce this morning. Certainly, they were on this last night as well, discussing that they believe it's Zubimendi. We've got a DM from last night from them as well, saying that yes, they did have that information. And I'm somebody who is more than happy to give people credit. So Anfield Sector, take a bow. The floor is yours. Well played. But look, again on the getting the yes stuff, let's just wait for a few more people to get on board the hype train of him saying that it's a yes, because the last thing I want to do is come on here and get everybody hyped up about a yes and then it not to be fully there yet. Brad said, been a big fan since the 2021-22 season. Absolutely love how much the channel has grown and how far you've come. Big love, Craig, and up to Zubimendi. So, I was only saying to my wife earlier on, right? When my wife was pregnant with her first child, going back 20 years now, I had some agoraphobia and wouldn't leave our apartment. And I had to work with my psychiatrist at the time and my GP to gradually come out of the apartment bit by bit further, bit further. And to think about that to now, where, I've walked out in Liverpool on stage and done a live show in a 590-seater arena, I can't believe how far it's all come, I'm just a normal fella who loves the football club and wanted to try and challenge myself to improve my mental health, improve my life, and every time I've started to get comfortable, I've wanted to challenge a bit more and do a little bit more and do a little bit more. So to think where we are now, from very humble beginnings as a community and a channel, man, it's awesome. It's awesome, but I know I wouldn't be here if you guys didn't bear with me. You didn't understand when I had some bad days, some good days, when things went a bit sideways at times. Like my wife, you never abandoned, you never walked away, you were always there reassuring me, and I know what side my bread's buttered on. I'm sure you know the song Ruby, 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 Ruby. Oh. Yes, I do. It's Zubimendi signed. It'll be Zubi, 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 Zubi. Oh. It will indeed. Absolutely it will. And my wife will be hating every second of me singing it as well. I missed the super chat. 1 second. So, Mucky said, is there a proper chance for Bastoni or impossible? So, let me get back to my information on Inter Milan mate from yesterday, which will probably be able to give you a bit more scope on whether it is possible or not. 1 second, my man. I'm just scrolling back through my notes. And credit to Moby Hake on this, by the way, because that's where I seen this information on X. Well, it was sent to me from Connor, who's seen it on X, but yeah, here we go. So Moby Hake said, O3 Capital took over Inter Milan after their previous owner, Sunning, missed a €395 million debt repayment deadline. They're in deep debt, will probably sell a player, and left-footed centre-back Bastoni is available for about 60 million euro if offered. So I'm not sure in any way if Liverpool are going to go in and make that offer, but I can say to you that there is a chance of him moving if somebody comes in with the money. Yes. I just don't know, mate, in good conscience, if it's going to be us or not. Harry, another super chat I've got to bring up. 1 second. Harry said, McAllister, Zubimendi, Szoboszlai is footy. It is. It's exciting. It's exciting. Look, do you guys think that... and Leston, Sebri, thank you for gifting 5 Anfield Agenda memberships, man. Really, really, really appreciate that. Do you guys think if we sign Zubimendi and get a centre-back in that we're relatively happy with, that makes us genuine title contenders? Because people who were at our live shows in Cardiff and Liverpool, or people that watch the channel regularly, will know, for me, Arsenal were going into this season a week ago, let's say, as the title favourites. That's genuinely how I felt, because I think Manchester City are a little bit off the standards that they were at. They've obviously sold Julian Alvarez for a lot of money. I think the upheaval and what's going to happen over their charges in the course of the season will cause them to be somewhat distracted. So I felt like there was an opportunity for a club to go in there and wrestle the title away. My frustration all summer has been that obviously I was seeing Arsenal going out there, putting their best foot forward, trying to strengthen, bringing in Calafiori. They've got Jurrien Timber back from injury. Obviously, he was out for a while last year. And I felt like we weren't matching that ambition. But if we got Zubimendi in, if we got a centre-back in, if we re-signed Trent, I've got to say, I feel like, for me anyway, we could win it. We could win the Premier League. Bro, bye Bastoni and let's enjoy the season, said Mookie. Let me just remove that one so I can get the next one up, mate. 1 second. Stevie Boy, thank you again, mate, for your super chat. Stevie Boy said, Romano has said on X, Liverpool have triggered the release clause. I just want to... I just want to sit on that for a second, if you don't mind. You don't do that unless you know the player's willing to do it. So if Liverpool have triggered the release clause, and I'm still waiting for Connor to send me on, or somebody to send me on the tweet showing that. Right, so, what have we got here? Zubimendi would welcome an exit to England, and if the English make his termination clause effective, he would be open to giving them the yes regarding Sociedad this summer. Could be historic as his departure is concerned. Nice. I'm just waiting for... I need to see that Fabrizio Romano post before I get really, really excited about things. Right, Callum, thank you for your super chat, mate. Said... It's funny how we were told there was no interest in a DM, and yet on the verge of another masterclass, 90 million combined for a World Cup winner, a Euros winner. 90 million? Oh, you're talking about McAllister and Zubimendi. Sorry, mate, I didn't put that together for a second. Yes, exactly. Which is what, 25 million less than Caicedo and a good 15 or so million less than just Declan Rice. So apparently Romano hasn't said that. So whoever said he tweeted it, I'm gonna have to. I haven't seen. Connor and Mark are both saying that's not true. Romano hasn't tweeted that. So again, let's not get too far ahead of ourselves. That's what I'm saying. Let's be cautious. Brad. Thank you for your super chat, mate. Brad said, the best and most humble LFC fan channel out there. I don't know what to say to that, mate, other than thank you. You know, I don't see why we wouldn't be humble, you know. I've always said this. I've no special set of skills or talent. The channel's only as good as the people that watch it and the people that contribute to it. So, yeah, give the praise to yourselves. In all honesty, you know what? It's my job's easy. I get to chat with the best people on the planet every day, and it's a dream for me. Like, so, yeah, the channel is what it is because of you guys. I've always said that. Edwards is class, said Alex. Here we go tomorrow morning, said Jay. I don't know, mate. I honestly wouldn't know when to expect that, but love you like your family to me, said Alex Macklin. Wikipedia says he plays for Liverpool. I fucking love Liverpool fans. I love our fans and stuff like that, to be fair. Is the source that's saying he'll say yes reliable? Again, I don't know. I'm looking at the source now. I don't know. All I can say is Anfield Sector have been very good on this themselves, but I don't know with regards to is the source reliable or not, mate. I mean, I'd be a liar if I said I know that the source is or isn't. Yeah, and you know, I'll just be honest with you about that. I don't know. Harris said, wait on Ornstein or Joyce. Do you know what I feel really weird about, right? So, James Pearce, who I have nothing but the height of respect for. James Pearce works for The Athletic as well. But it always seems to be David Ornstein that breaks these stories around a transfer at Liverpool or something. It's a bit weird, right? Like, because James Pearce, obviously, formerly of The Echo, now with The Athletic. I'd like to see Pearcey get a couple of exclusives or breaking stories. But what I can say to you is, and I always say this about James Pearce, once the transfer happens, he'll give you a fantastic insight onto exactly how it came about, what the thought processes were, why Liverpool moved when they did, what the thinking was for Michael Edwards and Richard Hughes. Yeah, but I'd love Pearcey to just get a few more exclusives, you know, because I like James Pearce. I think he's a good guy. Rustam Dalal, thank you, mate, for your super chat. Said, a world champion McAllister and a European champion Zubimendi in our midfield, I think we can win the Premier League. Not just, we're forgetting about Alexis also winning the Copa America now, mate, as well. He's a world champion, he's a South American champion, and we want to make him a Premier League and European champion as well with regards to the Champions League and the Prem title. So yeah, you're not going to get much of a higher class of midfield than Alexis McAllister, Martin Zubimendi, Szoboszlai there as well. That's a midfield that can win you league titles, definitely. David said, Craig, 266,000, who'd have thought it? Not me, bro. Not me. As I said, our goal when we started Anfield Agenda was 5,000 subscribers, so yeah. So look, let's add to that though. So if you are with us and there's 4,433 people in the chat right now, please do hit that subscribe button, drop a like on the video, and keep your questions coming in because I'll answer them as best as I can. Keep your thoughts coming in on the whole window. A couple of questions that people have asked about outgoings that I want to address for a second as well. Yes, there will be outgoings. When we spoke with David Lynch earlier on, he kind of backed up and reiterated what he said to me at the live show as well, in that Wataru Endo has been informed that he doesn't really have a future at Liverpool under Arne Slot. David also said that, to Wataru's credit, he wants to fight for his position, but you know, as that window, at the end of that window gets a bit closer, he's going to want to play football as well, right? So Tyler Morton is available for sale. Wataru Endo is available for sale. Nat Phillips is available for sale. For the right bid, Costas, I believe, is available for sale. Quiveen Kelleher for the right price, again, 25 million, available for sale. Sepp van den Berg, 17 million pound, available for sale. They're the ones I know of. The one that surprised me, the two actually, sorry, that have surprised me a little bit, are the potential of maybe Ben Doak being available not just for loan, but for sale. I hope that doesn't come to fruition. A loan for Ben Doak to a Premier League club would be a very good move. Let him go out and show what he can do in the Premier League. But Bobby Clark is the other one. Confused on the Bobby Clark situation, because I would have thought Bobby Clark was one for the future who was worth keeping around. But again, there's enough stories to say if an offer comes in that meets the grade, he could move on as well. So it does look like it's going to be a busy end of the window with regards to all transfer activity at Liverpool. Not the real Martín Zubimendi, but a Martín Zubimendi said, "You have my yes, Liverpool for life. Craig is my idol." Well, now we know it's the real Martín Zubimendi, actually, because it's a well-known fact that on his bedroom wall at home he had pictures of Xabi Alonso and me. Fabio Carvalho said, "Adam, again, unfortunately, mate, available for sale." And I have to say, I slightly disagree with that for Fabio, because if you say to players, "Come and show me what you can do in pre-season," I don't know what more he could have done. You know, he scored against Arsenal, scored against Manchester United. I think showed that he's capable at the level. So for me, unless you were just talking about having too many people in one position that he won't get game time, it's one that I don't agree with, the idea of selling, personally. But, you know, do you know what? I'm going to go a step further. I know this is going to cause me some problems, but I'm going to be honest. I'd sell Curtis Jones. Especially now. I want Harvey Elliott to be that player that Curtis Jones has been given the chances to be. I think Elliott's better, in my humble opinion, and will become better. I'm just being honest. I'm not expecting everyone to agree with me, but, you know, I've always said I don't ever see enough consistency from Curtis Jones. Keep Clark, get rid of Jones, said Chris Worrell. Pre-season was a shop window. That's a fair point as well, Paul. You know, we can't ignore that. And if it was a shop window, then it's fair to say that the Fabio Carvalho, as an example, did himself no harm. Now remember, we also have that next generation coming through. Rio Nyamoha, who's going to be coming into the football club. Trent Cone-Doherty. We've got Trey Neone. So we're bringing through a group of 15, 16-year-olds that look supremely talented as well. So we need players in their prime now. And Zubimendi at 25 is coming right into that. So he'd be amazing. What's this Connor's just sent me? Ladies and gentlemen, David Ornstein has tweeted to say the following. Sit yourselves down, you're going to like this. Real Sociedad expect Martín Zubimendi to accept the move to Liverpool, according to Sociedad sources. The club would still need to trigger the fee, but unless Liverpool decide to trigger the clause, which needs to be paid in full. So David Ornstein is now saying that he expects the deal to go through and that the player, he's accepting the move to Liverpool, Zubimendi. Just letting that one sit for a minute. Zubi, 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 Zubi! Oneslo, la 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 la. Oneslo, la 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 la. Woo! And here was us all waiting for Ornstein or Joyce, and bing bang bosh, there he is, right on schedule. Mr. David Ornstein giving us those good feels at 9:45 on a Wednesday night. Sean, how are you, my man? Said, let's go Zubi. You'll receive a lot of love here, mate. Vamos. And he will. That's exactly right. He will. He will get to follow the path from his idol, Xabi Alonso, who did quite well, I think it's fair to say, when he moved from Sociedad. Oh! Gets better. Fabrizio Romano has just tweeted to say, Liverpool remain confident to sign Martin Zubimendi with talks ongoing as reported earlier. There's still work to do, but Liverpool are on it. So, Arsenal, United fans, how does it feel, motherfuckers? Oh, I love it. I love it when they're like so arrogant about it as well. He says being arrogant, I know, but see, I don't care. That's the difference. Oh, God, yes. Let's go, Craig, said Harry. Hope you and the fam are well. We're absolutely amazing, bro. Absolutely amazing. Do you know what? I got blood test results there, actually, last night, just before I came on stream. Would you believe I have amazingly low cholesterol? Me! Which is mental. But yeah, so I'm all good, my man. Yeah, I'm over the moon about those blood test results because I was anxiously waiting for results on them, on a few things, but they came in with good news, so that makes me feel very happy as well. I'm sad you didn't believe me, Craig. I am committed, said Martin Zubimendi. I never said I didn't believe you. I said I didn't believe you were Martin Zubimendi, but I believe in your love for Liverpool Football Club, Mr. Zubimendi. Right, another one from Rickmatic said, I think a little bit of Newlawn is in order. Well, he's always there. He's in the background. Do you know what I mean? Newland's walking around the background there. I don't have the Newland to jump up and bring on the stream the way we used to, but he's in the background there doing his thing. Oh, I love this one from Ryan. You ready? Well played, Ryan. Well played, sir. David Hornstein. Well played. Oh, God. These are the days honestly, these are the days I live for. Another super chat. Finally, some good news regarding transfers. We've waited so long to see business done, but I'm happy with this signing, said Alex Cooper. Well, Alex, we do have to caveat and say it isn't done yet, but if Ornstein's saying that Zubimendi's wanting the move, you can bet your ass Liverpool are going to pay the clause. So that's the part we were waiting for. Yeah. So, another one from Sam Nevitt said, how did your lad Lucas enjoy Liverpool, Craig? He loved it. But you know what meant the most to me, Sam? He came up to me after the Liverpool show when I did the meet and greet, and I was a good hour and 15 minutes meeting people, taking photos and talking after. And he came up to me and he said, I'm proud of you, Dad. Which is amazing. So, yeah, he loved it. He loved it. He loved being asked to sign a few things as well. Loads of people were asking Lucas to sign their jerseys, and he felt like a little rock star. And I was so proud of him because he took it all in his stride. With his autism and his sensory issues, sometimes he's overloaded on these type of things. But yeah, it was awesome. It was awesome. The whole thing was awesome. Yeah, it was just like all of it. Liverpool were just so good to us. Yeah, the city, that people that showed up, it was just incredible. I don't know what else to say. Let me just go through my notes 1 second. Here we go. A serious question from Alan. Hang on, Alan. Let me get your comment up, my friend. Said, Craig, serious question. If we sign Zubimendi, would Big Mac and Soboslai be potentially better than Gerrard, Alonso and Mascherano? I mean, it's a really difficult question to answer, Alan, before it happens. But I think we're forgetting Momo Sissoko in the best midfield in the world as well. It gives themselves a chance to prove it over time. It gives themselves a chance to get into that conversation, but it's a high bar to set. I think they'll win more, but yeah, let's wait and see. Look, let's get the guy done first, and then we'll see what happens after that. You didn't put a comment in, my friend, but thank you for the super sticker. Herman, really appreciate your support, buddy. A really, really, really kind super chat coming in from Soren as well. Thank you, Soren. Said, been waiting for this. Jersey number 6 is his to take. Let's go. Yeah, I would imagine there will be a lot of Zubimendi shirts sold and bought by very, very happy Liverpool fans. Eddie Cox Wilkins said, nice to see you found the money, John. So, yeah. You know, we were asking for a long time, Eddie. All of us. Where's the money, John? Well, it looks like he finally stumbled across it. And look, this is part 1 of a 3-part summer. But if we get him in, you know, that's a very, very, very good start. But there's still more work to be done. Craig, you said your plan was to hit 5,000 subs, and you've got nearly 5,000 of us in here tonight. Be proud of yourself. We all love you, mate. Big ups to you and everyone behind the scenes. So, on the everyone behind the scenes thing, I didn't announce this on any other stream. I said it at the live show. Ben is no longer part of Team Anfield Agenda. We let Ben go last week, not because of any fallout or any lack of quality of his work. Quite simply, there just wasn't enough work to keep 2 graphic designers going behind the scenes. So you may have seen some posts to say that Top of the League is coming back. It is. It's Ben's though. So as part of the process, we gave Ben the channel. Ben owned the IP of Top of the League, but we gave Ben the channel to help kickstart his own push as well into the YouTube world. We made sure that we gave him the channel ready to go so we can start earning some money from it. But we just want to say from the bottom of our hearts, me and Connor, a massive thank you to Ben for all of his work for the 13 months he was with us. He really helped professionalise a couple of things behind the scenes. He's a great friend of mine, remains a great friend of mine. It's just, again, just a purely business decision that we didn't feel that there was enough work to keep everybody involved. So I didn't want to mention it last week. I wanted to let it settle down a bit, but Ben will be on Top of the League and will be getting back into the YouTube scene. So we just want to say thank you to Ben for everything. Right, super chat from Elks. Let me get it up on screen. First signing as a fan. La la la. Welcome, Zubimendi, said Elks. Thank you, mate. Alex Cooper said, John must have had a few points tonight since he's opened the checkbook. To be fair, look, we're seeing what we were told was going to happen sort of happening. You know, now we just need to finish the window. You know, it's about getting everything that needs to be done. And I don't want us to take our eye off the ball because, yes, Zubimendi's going to be amazing, but we still have contracts to sort out. We still have a centre-back position to fill. And I'm really intrigued to see how the Anthony Gordon situation goes over this window, because those of you who watched our interview with David Lynch earlier on will know that both myself and David believe that there isn't a chance in hell Gordon signs a new contract with Newcastle before the window shuts, or that there is a very unlikely situation that he won't insist on a release clause if Liverpool come knocking in any new deal, because he very much wants to come to Liverpool. Craig Zuba, I hoped for it the time I was here. Yes, thank you again for that, Fionn. Appreciate you. Herman, another super chat, mate. Let me get your one up on screen. One sec. You're a great bloke, watching for years. Great to see you finally getting the love you deserve. Look, mate, I'd never want to seem unappreciative of a comment like that, because I am. But truly, I'll never understand it. You know, that's the part of this that I always feel like I have an imposter syndrome. I don't do anything special in my eyes. The specialness comes from the community. If I take credit for anything, it's building the community aspect from day one. That part I'm happy to take some credit for, because we always said we could have had another 50,000 subscribers if we didn't kick out the assholes. But it's not. What's the point of having a channel if it's full of toxic crap? And we never wanted that. We wanted people to have a place where they can come in and have a bit of fun. You know, forget about their troubles and, you know, meet like-minded people who have a good heart. And I think we're doing that together on the journey. So yeah, thank you, my man. I'll never understand it, but I'll always appreciate why people tune in. Right, another super chat that I need to get up on screen. 1 second. From Joe McDougall. Even if we sign Zubimendi, we will still be competing for top four with a very small squad. What? I mean, I've got to take a little bit of... I disagree on that, mate, a lot. If there's one thing I don't think we have, it's a small squad. I mean, if anything, I feel like we're overstocked in some areas. Now, we do have deficiencies. Definitely. We've deficiencies in centre-back. We've got deficiencies probably in quality left-back coverage and maybe one or two more positions. But overall, I don't think we've that small of a squad. And Manchester City have won league titles a lot with small squads. You know, they've never really had... They've had quality in every position, and I think that counts, and that's important. So I think that's what you need. You need to have two nailed-on top-level players in each position. And on that, I guess I want to move on to speak about the goalkeeper situation, but I just want to see a few people thanking Ben as well, which I love to see. So thank you to everyone that's saying kind things about Ben as well. It's really important to us that Ben gets that recognition as well. Right, now, where are we? The goalkeeper situation. So let me get back to this one, because we haven't really spoken about Mamardashvili tonight. So there is a lot of talk in Spain that Liverpool are going to go in and buy this guy and loan him out. He's up for the move, according to those reports coming out of Valencia. It might take a year or two before he really gets into the Liverpool team, because of course we have currently the best goalkeeper in the world, in my opinion, in Alisson Becker. But Liverpool are looking to future-proof here. You know, we don't know what's going to happen with Quivine. He could go and search a first-team football if somebody pays the money. And we think, keep an eye on Crystal Palace in that situation. Excuse me. So keep an eye on Palace with Kelleher. And this guy looks like somebody the club are so... no, I don't want to say besotted with. That's not the right phrase. Liverpool are so adamant that this goalkeeper will be a top level goalkeeper that we're willing to go in this early to get him signed up and then maybe loan him out for a season, then reassess in a year's time, see what Alisson's wishes are, see what the situation is at Liverpool. But longer term, Mamardashvili looks like the one that Liverpool are looking to bring in to be Alisson's long-term successor. If we get him, Gordon and a quality centre-back would have been a good solid for this season. So, I've always told you the Gordon thing isn't going away, and I don't think it is going. I think it ends up in him at Liverpool, really. But I don't want to be the guy that says it's going to happen this summer, because I don't know. Newcastle still need to bring in money. Just because they got past the PSR stuff doesn't mean that they still don't have future potential headaches. So they had 1 year of Champions League football. They didn't get out of the group stage of that. They didn't follow on to the Europa League. They're looking at bringing in Mark Gay. That would be a big expenditure for them. So they're going to have to free up money. And again, to reiterate what their own club... executive said, that sometimes they have to take 1 step backwards to take 2 steps forward, and that could involve selling a player that they wouldn't necessarily want to sell. So I would say keep an eye on that Gordon situation going as well. The problem there is, though, the obvious one. Like, if you bring in Gordon and you've got Lucho and you've got Gakpo, you know, something has to give there. But there's been no indication of it. the expected offer coming in for Lucho. Now, Barcelona are still trying to figure out the Dani Olmo situation. They've given up on the Nico Williams one for this summer, so, you know, I don't think they're going to come back in. Paris Saint-Germain, I mean, if they come back in, will Lucho want to go there? Is it an upgrade in his career? I would say no. But I still think Liverpool want to find a way to get Gordon. And I think if Newcastle did business at 60 million, I think Liverpool would be a buyer for Anthony Gordon in this window. Vladon, thank you, mate, for your super chat. You didn't put a comment in, but of course want to bring your name up on screen as well to say thank you. So thank you, bro, for that one. Where are we at? I think we're going to get a 2,000 like stream tonight for Zubimendi news. So if you haven't, please do drop a like on the stream for me, folks. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button as well. What about January? So the club don't really like doing business in January. We've done it, of course, plenty of times in the past. But the January market seems to be more of a, to use Richard Hughes' own words, an opportunistic market. Where sometimes something comes up and you go, yeah. Examples, Danny Sturridge, Luis Suarez. You know, they were, if my memory's correct, January signings that Liverpool just felt were too good not to be able to get done. And maybe if something comes up in January that the club feel is worth going after, yeah, I'd like to think they're open to it. But ultimately, a lot of managers, especially Jurgen, like to get their squad in the summer, and barring an injury or something like that, stick with that squad through the remainder of the campaign. What's this Mark sending me there? 1 second. So Alex Crook now saying Liverpool are confident of succeeding where others have failed and landing Martin Zubimendi. There's a lot of positivity tonight around this Zubimendi deal to Liverpool from a lot of journalists. Yeah, a lot of them just saying exactly similar versions of the same thing, that Liverpool are confident, that the player's open to the idea of moving. Yeah, what's this? So Riddock, Ben, I'm going to read out Ben, Riddock's name is Ben, by the way. Zuby doo, where are you? We got some work to do now. Zuby doo, where are you? We need some help from you now. You know what I mean? Liverpool fans are at it already. Raggy. I love our fan base, man. I absolutely love our fan base. And I love Riddock as well. He's a great account. I always used to interact with him when I was on Twitter. But there you go. Songs are coming out already. Vladone. Message lost. Zubi, one centre-back and a backup for Mo. You'll never walk alone. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Although I can't imagine the Scooby-Doo song really taking off on the Cop, to be fair. Idris says, Gordon ain't the man for us. He's not worth more than 45 million. Mate, I'm not telling you I'm right, you're wrong. I'm not saying he's brilliant. All I'm saying to you, and I've tried to say this all summer, is I can only tell you what I know. And what I know, and what I have known for 3 or 4 months now, is that Liverpool really, 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 really do admire, rate highly, and would like to sign Anthony Gordon. And Anthony Gordon reciprocates that love and would like to come to Liverpool. What happens before or after that remains to be seen. He's 23, I think, Anthony Gordon. He improved dramatically from his time at Everton when he went to Newcastle. He's really stepped it on. I think his pace is something we could absolutely do with. And I think he'd run through a brick wall for the shirt, which means a lot to me as a Liverpool fan. Him being a Liverpool fan himself, you know, I think give him a chance if he comes in. That's all I'd say. Like any other player that signs for the club, give them a chance. Finally, some good news at Harry Morgan. Yep, we're only 300 likes now away from 2,000 as well. What day is it today? Wednesday. Thursday again, we're going to have the same. 2 podcasts came out today, by the way. I should mention that. Myself and Jack Gill were talking about the transfer window in general. We recorded that yesterday. And our interview with David Lynch that we did this afternoon. Both of those podcasts are now up. If you're a podcast listener, just search Anfield Agenda. Whether it's Spotify, whether it's Acast, Apple Podcasts, whatever your podcast platform of choice is, you'll find Anfield Agenda on there. We try to put up 2 or 3 episodes every week as well. They're completely free for everyone to listen to, so if you get a chance, do leave us a rating on there as well. It really helps, and let us know your thoughts on both of them. MG crying because of the Zubi deal. Don't make me get everybody to do what we did at the live show in Liverpool. I think I told you this story last night, so let's just say MG again. Somebody asked me a question about MG, and before I answered the question, somebody in Liverpool in the crowd shouted out FMG, and then everybody started singing FMG, and then we all had a bit of fun with it. He's not very liked. I think that's fair to say. So, let him. That's all I'll say. Is I don't even give him the thought process, time of thinking about him anymore. He's just, let's just forget about it and move on. But yeah, true story. People at the Liverpool show will say that to you. It happened. Who is MG? Come on now. Okay, it rhymes with Gark Mulbridge. Would you take Murillo from Nottingham Forest at Liverpool, yes or no? He's certainly somebody who has been considered by Liverpool. I think Nottingham Forest want about 70 million though, which is a really high figure. But I would be very surprised at that price. Let me say that. Just saw the title. Let me get your super chat up on screen. And 1 second. Ruz Bagadri said, just saw the title. Is it confirmed? Not confirmed, but did I not bring that up on screen? Sorry. Not confirmed, my friend, but David Ornstein, Fabrizio Romano, and many other journalists have said that it's looking positive. The player's open to the move. And once the player's open to the move and there's a release clause that can be triggered, then, it's pretty likely to happen. MG can enjoy Zanderberg. Yeah, it's probably the level they deserve, to be fair. Or they can have Rabiot as well. He's still begging for a club somewhere. Alex Alvarado, thank you, mate, for your super chat. Said, this news was very good. It's almost worth the wait, but we need, in my opinion, another left centre-back and a left-back that will be good enough to replace Robbo up the Real Reds. And one more that doesn't have a comment, but I just want to bring it up on screen to say thank you as well, which is from Sharfuden Monia. Thank you very much as well for your support. I love that loads of people wrote FMG in the chat as well. You guys get me. Well played. Looking proper hench, Craig. What my lift and weight was? Nothing. I'm just naturally broad shoulder. I'm fat. But I just come from a family of kind of stocky guys, to be fair. My dad was a bit of a tank, in all honesty. Ruzbeth Gadvi, let me get your super chat up on screen this time, because I feel I poo-pooed the bed on your last one. 1 second. I love your show, Craig. Really appreciate you. Let me reciprocate that and say thank you. Really appreciate your support. Receipt Hairline said, Craigo, remember to get the nips out. Love you, mate. Not done yet. It's not done yet. I've got to make sure the nips are ready for public consumption. Do you and the Irish lad PM still get on? PM. The Irish guy? Is that what we're talking about? As in Michael Ramsey or a different Irish guy? I mean, Michael Ramsey, again, yes. Nothing but mutual respect there. Myself and Michael get on really well. I always enjoy his company when I meet up with him and have a chat as well, whether it be on a show or anything. I don't know if you're talking about a different guy or not. But certainly the Irish guy, yes. Yeah, nothing but respect for him. Look, I don't really think bad of many people, and certainly don't go out of my way to talk shit about people unless I've got a very good reason. So yeah, look, yeah, I keep my friend circle quite small, and you know, people in this industry I consider friends would be Ben, obviously Drawdy would consider a really good friend. Lee Gunner, somebody who I'd consider a friend in this industry as well. Craig, I might cry we finally signed somebody. Not just somebody though. I think, Vlad, that's the really important thing here. It's the right person. And that's where I think the wait might be worth it. Because it's not like we're just going out there and bringing in an Andre where we're all like, will it work, won't it work, I'm not sure, maybe. This is as close to a guarantee of fitting in as I think we could hope for. After 48 days, finally, said Squeaky Clean. Yes, so for those of you who don't know, Squeaky Clean, our friend from the United States of America, shout out Squeaky Sports, said every day on one of my videos, where's the money, John? Or day number, blah, blah, of where's the money, John? So finally, yes, finally, mate, you're going to be able to retire that where's the money, John? Oh, when you say PM, you mean... No, we don't talk. No, now I know who you meant. You meant Murphy. No, we don't talk. Again, I'm not going to say anything derogatory or anything about anybody because I don't need to. I don't punch down in life. So, yeah, look. That certain Irish person had their opportunity. Could have changed their own life. But made a mess of it. You know, and I just carry on doing my own thing. So yeah, I don't look backwards. I'm not going to start belittling people or anything either. Just crack on ahead, and my only focus is my community, Connor, and our families. That's it. Do we know if Zubimendi is familiar with English? Do you know what? I'll be honest and say I don't know. I'm sure somebody in the chat knows if Zubimendi. Oh, I want to show you a photo as well. Well, we've got loads of people in. 1 second. So bear with me while I bring this up. So this photo is from the Liverpool show that we did. That was right at the end of the show. If you just look at that for 1 sec. Look at everybody behind me. Because that's all I do. And I just see people who are happy. And that makes me smile. Nearly makes me cry, to be honest with you. Especially the old man who's in between my head and my arm. I love that man. That was at the end of our live show at the Hot Water Comedy Club in Liverpool. And it's something I'm going to hang on to forever, that memory. I've looked at it multiple times a day. It makes me smile. What about you and Adam? Oh yeah, of course. Me and Adam message quite a bit. I try not to fall out with anyone. Honestly, I don't like falling out with people. Adam's sound. Adam's a really good guy, really good content creator. Absolutely still in contact with Adam. Do I know Jonathan Morley? I know who Jonathan Morley is. I've never really interacted with Jonathan much. I certainly don't have anything negative to say about Jonathan because I don't really know the man. I will say one thing. I give him mad props for the weight loss. I think he looks incredible. Fair play to the fella. It's a great example he's setting as well. But other than that, I don't know him, you know. But I wish him, and same as everybody else, every success. So we're looking at a possible Liverpool lineup, right? And let me just read this out to you. This is a possible Liverpool lineup for next season. Alisson, Trent, Canade, Van Dijk, Robbo, Zubimendi, Szoboszlai, McAllister, Lucho, Darwin, Salah. And that's before we even looked at the bench, like. That's tasty. That is a very, very tasty potential 11. Marty Bell said, Gordon kissing the badge in front of the Everton fans is worth 80 million quid alone. Do you know what? I was reading the comment section on, I think it was the Echo, and the article was about Anthony Gordon, and one of the commenters who was an Everton fan said, he wasn't good enough for Everton, we booted him out of the club. Come on. Chased him out of the car park, fair enough. But booted him out of the club because he wasn't good enough? The delusion is real. Uh, 11 different nationalities in that picture as well. Or in that starting 11, sorry. Where's Brett Young one? I get paid tonight at 12. First thing I'm doing is buying a Liverpool kit with Zubimendi on the back, said Brett Young. He's fluent in the number 6, said Adrian. Well played. So we did get I did get myself the new Liverpool away shirt actually. My wife got the Liverpool goalkeeper's jersey, the black one. Myself and my son Lucas got the away jersey. Connor got the away jersey as well. It's really nice. I have to say, I'm glad I got it. I'm looking forward to wearing it. Right, David Long. Let me get your super chat up on screen, my friend. Said, please, Craig, great content, but do you really think we can win the league? New manager, new style. Hand on heart, mate. Hand on heart, with every fibre of my being. If we get Zubimendi in, and it's not done yet, but if we address the centre-back situation, and if Lady Luck is on our side a little bit with injuries, then 100% yes, we can win the league. Yes, without a shadow of a doubt. On our day, we've always been good enough to compete with anybody. League's about consistency. We need to start quickly. The Athletic did a good piece where they said that Liverpool technically have the easiest opening 5 games of the season. So we need to make sure that we go out there and put our best foot forward and try to get out in front. We don't want to be playing catch-up. But you always need a little bit of luck. Last year we had an incredible amount of injuries. I think we were second in the injury chart for the most amount of injuries. So yeah, I genuinely feel like we can do it, because I don't think Manchester City are going to be anywhere near as strong as they've been in recent times. Arsenal, you've got to respect Arsenal and the squad that they've assembled, but there's also a lot of pressure on Mikel Arteta to finally win something substantial. Yes, he's won an FA Cup, but is that enough for the amount that have been invested into that Arsenal team? You would have to say he has to win a league title. He has to. If he doesn't win a league title soon, all that money for what? 100 and something million on Declan Rice. An awful lot spent for an FA Cup. I think the media need to start upping the ante a little bit on Lego Man, because he needs to start delivering. He's been very well backed in the market and he's made good decisions. But if they don't capitalise this season and win that league title, I don't know. So that's why I think we've got that muscle memory now. We've done it in recent times. And getting the first one after 30 years was incredibly difficult. But now, yeah, Arne Slot, as he said, he didn't come here to sit back and look up. He wants to win the league. He won the league with Feyenoord. He won the cup with Feyenoord. He wants to break the 82 points that we got last season. What's this one? 1 second. So Xabi Alonso, speaking on Martin Zubimendi, said, Martin's a player all coaches would want. He's generous. He always thinks more about his teammates than himself. He has the ability to generate play, to make those around him better, always offering solutions to improve the move. He understands what the next step is before the ball goes to him. He has the ability to organise the axis. I loved working with him. So obviously, as a Real Sociedad youth team coach, Xabi Alonso would have seen Martin Zubimendi. And speaks in glowing terms. Glowing terms of Zubimendi, who is his idol is Xabi Alonso. Thank you for the super chat, Stephen Cronin. You didn't put a comment in, mate, but thank you. I just wanted to bring it up on screen to say thank you to you. So Jack Gill sent me a message there on WhatsApp to say he's watching the stream now, and I will read out the message to you exactly as it's written. Jack said, watching the stream now, make sure you let everyone know we're winning the lot. 6-0 Gill has spoken, lads. So yeah, there you go. Jack wants you all to know we're winning the lot. Eddie said, do you think you trigger the release clause? Yes, I do. It's either going to be triggered, Eddie, or we pay more than the clause to pay it in installments. But everything I've read today suggested that once Zubimendi tells Real Sociedad that he would like to move, that they will honour his wishes as long as the number is one that they get to. So I do believe, yes, we will. I think once David... Let me read out what David Ornstein said again, because it's amazing. 1 second. Right, I'm going to start off with something from Ben Jacobs, because I haven't read this out yet. Said, Liverpool optimistic on signing Martín Zubimendi in a huge move spearheaded by Sporting Director Richard Hughes. Number 6 has emerged as a key priority. €60 million release clause also seen as market value. Liverpool prefer not to trigger directly due to the payment terms, but all options explored. Sociedad will respect Zubimendi's decision if he chooses to leave. Player has always been attached to the club and rejected big moves in the past, including the chance to go to Arsenal. Big signing for Liverpool if they can pull it off. And then on top of that, we had David Ornstein saying Real Sociedad expect Martín Zubimendi to accept the move to Liverpool. According to Sociedad sources, clubs would still need to agree a fee unless Liverpool decide to trigger the release clause, which needs to be paid in full. And then Fabrizio Romano said Liverpool remain confident to sign Zubimendi with talks ongoing as reported earlier on today. It's all coming up Millhouse at the minute, isn't it? It's amazing what one top level signing or the hint of it does for the old spirit, isn't it? Stephen Cronin, thank you, mate, for the super chat, but you didn't put a comment in. But again, thank you, mate. Appreciate your support. Our midfield is stacked, said Blue King. I just don't understand why Endo is not wanted anymore. So, is it Deirdre? Yeah, Deirdre Drake Best. From my conversation with David earlier on, I think it's a stylistic thing. You know, nobody will ever, you'll never hear the words of anybody saying that Endo's a troublemaker or Endo isn't good to have around any squad. Endo is a humble, lovely human being who wants to stay and fight for his place, but it's been communicated to him that he's not seen as somebody who the manager will feel like he can or will depend on. You know, for me, the worrying signs for Endo started when we heard about that bid from Marseille. You know, that bid from Marseille was 2 weeks before we heard about it. And immediately, when it came out and we found out it was 2 weeks afterwards, my first thought was, why are we hearing about this? You know? And I said, I think we're hearing about it because the club want us to hear about it. Because it just didn't get to the figure that Liverpool wanted. But it was almost saying, you know, he is available, but we want some more money. So let's wait and see what happens. When I spoke with David Lynch earlier on, Deirdre, he said Waturo wants to prove himself, but, you know, will he maybe have a change of mind as the end of the transfer window approaches and he stares down the possibility of maybe not playing a lot of first team football. And the older you get, I guess, in your career as well, Deirdre, the more playing becomes, you know, important. You want to make sure you get all those minutes. Matt Thielen saying there we have it, Zubi to Liverpool as well. So look, there's been just a lot of positivity around this evening around the Zubimendi deal. Now, I'm going to hang on if you guys are willing to hang on with me, because we might get even more stuff coming out around the 10:30, 11:15 mark. So I'm going to stay till 11:15. We'll do a full 2-hour stream. So if you're willing to stick with me, I'm going to carry on for another 20 minutes or so. And again, if you haven't, please do hit that subscribe button and drop a like on the stream. What else we got? Have you done that chat with the Peterborough United manager owner yet? No, I haven't. So it's Darren McAnthony's the guy you're speaking about. He's really busy, and we're going to get him on the podcast probably, because remember, he's in the middle of a transfer window himself with Peterborough. So we're going to probably do something together end of August, start of September. But I'm very much looking forward to catching up with Darren McAnthony. Somebody who I really admire, and somebody who's always been very good to me as well. So looking forward to catching up with Dara. It was me and my son who asked the MG question, said Matthew. Well, thank you for giving me one of my favourite moments of the show, Matthew. Yeah, appreciate that, mate. And thank you to you and your son for coming along as well, mate. Rice is overrated. Look, I still Declan Rice is a good player. I don't think he's 100 and whatever he was £1 million player, but I do think he's a good player. Yeah, look, as an Irish man, I'm still bitter about the whole Declan Rice thing as well. But I always try to be honest in my assessment of players, and I do think Declan Rice is a very good footballer. Any centre-back info tonight? Honestly, Gary, no, mate. Not a clue. A lot of optimism and hope on Bastoni because of Inter's financial troubles, but I'm not aware of anything anyway. And nor was David when I spoke to him earlier on. And again, just want to remind everyone, if you're somebody like me that used to drive for a living, or somebody who lives with podcasts, you can get that David Lynch interview in podcast form as well. Just search Anfield Agenda on any podcast platform, because we're on all of them. Spotify, Acast, Apple Podcasts, whatever it is, search Anfield Agenda. Today, 2 podcasts went up. Myself and Mr. Jack Gill did a good nearly an hour together yesterday, and that went up today. And then myself and David Lynch spoke earlier on today at about 3:15, and that's up there as well in podcast form if you get a chance to listen to it. We wanted Colwill last season. Thank God that never happened. You're not going to like me when I say this, but he's still somebody of interest to Liverpool. And if Chelsea were to give any indication that they'd sell Colwill, I think we'd be a buyer. Somebody sent something to us yesterday, and I want to go back through it again. Chelsea's squad is just absolutely stupidly overstacked. Oh, by the way, did you see these shenanigans going on with Leicester's new sponsor? Have you seen this on X? So Leicester's sponsor put out a post to say something is the usual nonsense. Delighted to be a new sponsor of Leicester City Football Club, blah, blah, blah. Something's going on with it. Because one, apparently they're not allowed to trade in the UK, according to a post. But also, this post about Leicester City has apparently had 668 million views and 70,000 likes. Stinks. That does not add up. That stinks. No post from any brand, especially one that no one's ever fucking heard of over here, gets 668 million views and 70,000 likes. That's poo-poo. So looking at the Chelsea squad situation for 2024-25, they have 7 goalkeepers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 9 centre-backs, 3 left-backs, 2 right-backs, 10 midfielders, 3 left-wingers, 3 right wingers and 2, 4, 6, 7. 7, maybe 8 strikers. So, as I said, if they were willing to sell Colwill, I do think we'd be a buyer. So, yeah, I'm not saying it's happening, but I'm just giving you an indication that. And also, this is a question that we get asked quite a bit is, how come Aston Villa, Newcastle, Manchester United, and some other clubs have had to offload to meet PSR, and yet Chelsea still seem to be able to go out there and spend like a drunken sailor? It's madness. I don't understand it. Like, the Premier League are looking to close the loophole that allowed Chelsea to sell themselves 2 hotels that they own, but they're still out there doing mad business. Like, the whole youth transfer market this summer has been very, very suspect, to say the least, because we can't get £25 million for Caoimhín Kelleher, a tried and tested, proven top-level goalkeeper, but people we've never heard of who've played little to no games are going for 20, 30, 35 million pound. It's been a very, very grubby window, in my opinion, with regards to some of these fees for youth players or homegrown players. That just stinks. LFC Anfield said, if I was a pro footballer, I'm never going to Chelsea. Especially if I was a striker, because, you know, there's been lots of striker failures there at Chelsea over the last while as well. Bastoni is not going to Liverpool. Cool. No, nobody here ever said he was, mate. All I said to you was that Inter Milan have financial issues because of their previous owner Sunning missing a repayment. So they will have to sell players, and somebody, if they wanted to buy Bastoni, may have the opportunity to do so. I've never once said that it's going to be Liverpool, because I don't have the information to say it would be Liverpool. And I said, to be fair, earlier on tonight, I think it's I think it would be unlikely for Liverpool to do it, because the profile of player that we're looking to bring in at centre back wouldn't be somebody who thinks, understandably in Bastoni's case, that they'd be coming to start. Liverpool want somebody who's maybe 3rd choice, 4th choice, with a view to maybe becoming heir apparent to Virgil, or to get fully in as a centre back week in, week out. Is it true if we get Zubimendi we can't register him? No, absolute horseshit, Clive. From a whole host of reasons. Firstly, remember, we have some overseas squad places freed up from Adrian, Thiago Alcantara and Joe Matip moving on. So that's 3 overseas squad places that Liverpool have freed up instantly. We have no FFP or PSR troubles. We are very, very, very far removed from having any of those. So no, mate. Whoever said that is just either pulling your leg or is lying to you. But no, there's nothing to worry about in that regard. Do you expect more signings? According to the reports, and even Fabrizio Romano saying yes, it looks like it's going to be a busy August for Liverpool, which is great. You know, we need to get signing number 1 over the line. And don't forget, we can't ignore the contract extensions that we have to get done as well for Trent and maybe Virgil. What are the chances, in your opinion, of signing the Valencia goalkeeper? Looked very good in the Euros and definitely a good backup to Alisson. I would say those chances are about 80%. I believe, Ashley, from what I'm seeing, that he's open to the move. About 30 million quid would probably buy him. What I've read is that Liverpool will loan him out. So Liverpool would buy him to future-proof against Alisson Becker moving on or whatever in the future. But he'd go out on loan for the first year. I think it's very plausible, mate. Georgi Mamaradashvili is the goalkeeper you're speaking about. 23 years of age, had a great Euros with Georgia, very good season apparently with Valencia. I didn't watch much of Valencia last season, but those who do said he had a very good season, and Liverpool are adamant that this is the guy who could be the heir to Alisson Becker. So I think there's every chance, Ashley, that becomes possible, mate. James, let me bring up your super chat, my friend. By the way, if anybody does see any breaking news in the 10:30, 11:15 type area, let us know in the chat. James, great show as ever. When I think of your show, I always think of that line in the Kevin Costner film, if they build it, they will come, and people still come to your show. I've always just tried to do a couple of things, James. Be consistent. Make sure people know when they can see us. 8:30, 8:45, that's our slot. And hope for the best. In all honesty, mate, that's always been the case. Just be me. I always say to myself, if I'm me, I don't have to worry about it. From the point of view of, I'm not pulling the wool over anyone's eyes. I'm not lying to people. I am me. People will either like what I have to say, don't like what I have to say, like me, don't like me. But I'm just going to keep being me, and trying to be a good example to young, because I really feel strongly that this generation of young people coming up have had some really shitty role models at times. The likes of your Andrew Tates of this world, and it's important to me as a father and as a man that we don't have a generation of kids growing up thinking that mistreating people, talking shit to people is acceptable. It isn't. Be humble, work hard, be honest. Did you hear that United have had 40 million wiped off their FFP going back to the COVID season? A United fan in our Discord actually said something about that. I think he said the conversation came from TalkSport or something. I don't really know much about United's finances, to be honest with you. I'm sorry I can't give you a better answer, mate, but I don't really know too much about it. David Massett said, "Evening, Craig. Just come into the stream." Well, it's been a very fun night so far, my man. Lots of great positives coming out around the whole situation with Zubimendi. One sec, I have another thing here. Oh. So, apparently this breaking from Barcelona's side, there's a lot of optimism in Barcelona about Nico Williams. He's closer to saying yes than no. Well, and I think most of us rational people never thought that Nico Williams would turn down Barcelona. It's more, can Barcelona get the money together to buy Nico Williams? They've had to get very creative to try and get the Olmo situation sorted. But I've always believed it was going to be Barca or stay at Bilbao for Nico Williams. Cameron said, "Craig, thoughts on Szoboszlai versus Harvey for the number 10 role?" I think we'll play with 2 10s maybe. Again, I'm still getting used to Arne Slot and his style of football, and we've not really got a chance to see any version of anywhere near what he thinks is the strongest 11 yet. So, do we see Szoboszlai as an example of an inside right rather than a midfielder? Do we see Salah, if he plays on the right, play inside more in the half space with an overlapping fullback? I think Elliott's going to have a good season. He's spoken himself about still getting to terms and grips with Arne Slot and how different it is in his role compared to under Jurgen. But I think Elliott's an incredibly good footballer, and I certainly expect him to play more than Curtis Jones because I think he's a better footballer than Curtis Jones. But Dominic Szoboszlai and him, look, competition's good. It's healthy. Competition usually pushes people's levels up. So the more competition for places you have, the better, in my humble opinion. Will I be live streaming both games on Sunday? Oh, God, yes. Yeah. We'll be live at about 11:45 for the Sevilla game, which kicks off at 12:30, and then we'll probably come back on at about 4:30, something like that, for the Las Palmas game. So for those of you that aren't aware, Liverpool have a double header on Sunday. We've got a full house. Well, we've got crowd in for the Liverpool-Sevilla game, which kicks off at 12:30. and then Liverpool are going to play a behind closed doors game against Las Palmas at 5 o'clock. Both of those games are going to be shown on LFC TV and LFC TV Go. Tim, thank you for your super chat, Tim. Let me just grab up on the screen. Craig, I'm from Boston and glad to finally see FSG making some moves. Next move will be a young centre-back to develop before VVD moves on. I think you are absolutely 100% correct in that assessment, Tim. That's certainly what I've been hearing from people I've spoken to. It's always been said to me, don't expect a centre-back to come in to play right now. Like, don't expect a Bastoni, as an example. Expect it to be somebody like that kid, Dean Hudson, or Lenny, or somebody who could be built for the future. Somebody who could become a mainstay in the defence, but initially will have to build up to it. So I think your assessment there, Tim, is spot on. What do I think about Slot so far, said Short Hawk. I've been nothing but impressed, mate. Look, defensively, I'm not sure what to think yet, because we haven't really had our strongest defence at any point on the pitch yet. He's asking the defenders to be very brave in possession, of course, and play out. But what I can say without any hesitation is I've been incredibly impressed in the final third and in midfield with how we're moving the ball quicker, giving ourselves more options, and the decision making I think has been a lot better than it has been in the past. So lots of promising signs. And I've always said this to you guys, I've never bought into this nonsense about Slot being a sacrificial lamb after Jurgen. From what I've been able to research on Arne Slot, that's not him. He turned down Premier League options before, so he would have taken a long look at this Liverpool group and heard the plan that Liverpool had and made his assessment on that, and he's here to win. So I've been really impressed, and I hope that he gets off to a good start. David Massett said, flying over for the game on Sunday, taking my youngest son to his first Liverpool game. We love to hear that, David, and I hope the young man enjoys the experience. I've yet to bring my son to his first Liverpool game. My daughter I brought over when she was, I think, 12 to her first game. Yeah, special moment that for you, mate. I hope it's lovely for the both of you. Kraken said, Craig, Gakpo or Diaz? Right now, for me, mate, honestly, if the season started tomorrow, I'd go with Gakpo on the left. I was incredibly impressed with him in the Euros. But to be fair, Diaz had a very good Copa America as well. I just find Gakpo's decision-making and abilities to finish in the final third a bit better than Diaz for me. Diaz is a good dribbler, certainly more direct than Cody Gakpo at times, but I'd go with Gakpo. One second. Craig, do you think Zubimendi move could stop Marino to Arsenal? Oh, Luke, I wouldn't have a clue, mate. If there's any way to correlate those two transfers, I wouldn't even know where to start. Benjamin, lovely to see you win as always, my man, all the way from New Zealand. Said, hello Craig, so happy to see you. Missed you and glad you're back, and I heard the shows were awesome. I'd love your thoughts on Zubimendi. Do you think he will sign or let us down? Signs are looking really, really positive on him accepting the move. Let me just take you back through a couple of posts that we've seen over the last few hours. Starting off with David Ornstein, who said that Real Sociedad expect Martín Zubimendi to accept a move to Liverpool. According to Real Sociedad sources, clubs would still need to agree a fee unless Liverpool decide to trigger the €60 million release clause, which needs to be paid in full. After that, Fabrizio Romano posted to say Liverpool remain confident to sign Martín Zubimendi, with talks ongoing as reported earlier today. There's still work to do, but Liverpool are on it. Then Alex Crook said Liverpool are confident of succeeding where others have failed and landing Zubimendi. And then there was a post from Ben Jacobs that said Liverpool optimistic on signing Martín Zubimendi in a move spearheaded by sporting director Richard Hughes. The number 6 has emerged as a key priority. 60 million release clause, also seen as market value. Liverpool would prefer not to trigger the clause due to payment terms, but all options are being explored. Sociedad will respect Zubimendi's decision if he chooses to leave. Player has always been attached to the club and rejected big moves in the past, including the opportunity to go to Arsenal. And what else we got? There was one more thing I wanted to read out actually from earlier on today, so bear with me. I want to go back through my notes. All the way back to the start of the day. 1 second. Lots of stuff today. Wolfsburg, by the way, are the latest club to have showed an interest in Sepp van den Berg, so do keep an eye on that situation. Where was this one? Sorry, I'm going through my own notes here because there's been a lot of stuff today. Zubimendi has the same agent, Iñaki Ibanez, as Xabi Alonso and Andoni Iraola, and he is well known to Liverpool sporting director Richard Hughes. That was another really interesting facet to come out of all this as well, is relationships. We've said this all summer. Jamie Carragher, I'm paraphrasing this a little bit, Jamie Carragher said that when he sat down and spoke with Michael Edwards in the past about the transfer market, he was expecting to hear stuff about money, agents and all, but he said ultimately the market comes down to relationships, the relationships you have with agents, other clubs, and Richard Hughes has been brought in because of some of these relationships. And in this case you can see similar agent Zubimendi with Andoni Iraola, who of course was brought in by Richard Hughes to become Bournemouth manager. Let me just grab this comment up as well. Craig, you have to admit that Ornstein is far better than Fabrizio. Haven't forgiven Fabrizio for his behaviour on Caicedo. Look, mate, I've never been a fan of Romano. I find him slimy. I don't know. I've always said the phrase I use is gun for hire because I don't like him, in all honesty. I don't. But you can't deny he gets a lot of information. But Ornstein certainly is somebody who I have a lot of respect for, definitely. Alex Alvarado, another super chat, 1 second. Said, when will we see another collab with Liverpool fan in Japan? Also would absolutely love to see you and Cop Talk TV have a video together. Who's Cop Talk TV? Sorry, there's so many channels these days, I forget who's who. Look, it's simple, mate. My door's open to anyone. If anybody wants to message me like LFC fan in Japan did, we'll get chatting. I really enjoyed speaking with Sai. I thought he was a lovely fella. We're going to bring him on and return the favour and get him onto our channel as well for a video. It's just been a really busy time for us in the last week because we were over in the UK for the Cardiff and Liverpool shows, so we're kind of still playing catch up at the minute. But Sai was lovely. A really, really lovely chatting with him. Brian, how are we? Lovely to see our long-term friend, Mr. Brian, LFC USA, said, are we seeing an actual signing? I must sit down. It's looking really good, Brian. It's looking really, really, really good, mate. All signs from journalists are positive. And look, Brian's also, apart from $100 super chat, has also just gifted 50 Anfield Agenda memberships. I mean, class act, mate. Class act on every level. Thank you so much, Brian. Yeah, wow. I don't know what to say, mate. That's so incredibly kind of you. Callum said Coppish would be great. Again, I like Drifty. I like Callum. I like the lads at Coppish. We've done stuff together in the past. All anybody has to do is message me. That's it. You know, if you want us to do something, just drop me a message or an email and we'll make it happen. Want to just get this comment up as well. Return the Endo kit. Is Zubimendi confirmed now? No, not confirmed, but certainly looking very, 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 very possible. You know, you don't get Ornstein, Romano, and many other journalists all saying that Liverpool are optimistic on this one unless they're getting positive vibes. Benjamin Alford, another super chat. I'm excited, Craig. It really seems like we're targeting prestige talent again. Reminds me of the old Edwards days. I may have missed this, but is that Valencia goalkeeper in to replace Alisson? It would be to replace Alisson, yes, but not now. So the plan for Georgi Mamardashvili would be that he would be into future-proof against whenever it is that Alisson Becker leaves. Now, I think this is a masterstroke if it happens for a couple of reasons. One, it means Liverpool don't have to go scrambling for a goalkeeper at whatever point in the future Alisson leaves, whether it's 1 year, 2 years, whatever it is. Because that's a situation you don't want to happen. Lose your goalkeeper and then have to go about finding a replacement. It'll be more expensive because clubs know you're desperate, and it'll be a pain in the backside. So if Liverpool can do what we're doing, which would be bring him in, loan him out for a year in the Premier League. Bournemouth is a club that's been mentioned. Could be genius. Could be absolutely genius. So keep an eye on it. I think there's definitely some truth to it. He's 23 years of age as well, so a baby in goalkeeper terms. And loads of people as well saying thank you to Brian as well for all those gifted memberships. Absolutely. Look, I love Brian to bits. He's always incredibly generous to us. Came all the way over, by the way, to Dublin for our first ever live show from Boston. He's just an incredible man. So thank you, Brian, for all of your support. Peter, welcome to Anfield Agenda FC as well. What's this one? So some stats here from Zubimendi's. One sec. Here we go. From Zubimendi's 2022-23 season. Full credit to Evan, who is at SAWKURGOD. Said some data from Zubimendi's 22-23 season. Can't stress enough how impressive the defensive and aerial duel numbers are. So he's got a total action success rate of 75.1%. Pass accuracy of 88.6%. What else have we got here? Some of these things are a bit small for my fat face to look at. Average forward passing 77.6%. Average passing in field 75.8%. Interceptions per 90 minutes is incredible at 5.96%. So yes, they are very impressive statistics indeed on Martin Zubimendi. But also, and I said this earlier on, and I want to go back over it again, I'm going to enjoy very much the fuck you to all the Arsenal and Manchester City fans who are laughing at us saying that he's turned down the idea of coming to them, so there's no way he could possibly come to Liverpool Football Club. To me, I can't wait to laugh and go, haha, nah. Ivan dropped into the chat as well. Ivan said, hi Craig, thought I'd drop in, great news tonight. We gave you, there he is in the chat, Mr. Schwackoff. How are we, Ivan? We gave you a shout out earlier on, bro. You know, always been very complimentary of our channel. And we always show respect back to people who do it, bro. So, yes, very good night indeed, sir. Very good night. And I'm absolutely buzzing, mate. I can't lie to you. I'm absolutely buzzing. Max Dutton, thank you, Max, said, would you sell Morton and Carvalho to buy Zubimendi? Yes. I don't like the idea of having to sell anyone to buy anyone, but those are two very potential sales, Max, that, you know, I can give you a list of players I know for a fact that Liverpool are open to selling. Let me just go through them while I try not to forget anybody. And let me just say this again about Ivan. Ivan's always dropped us lovely messages on X and that as well. Always been very complimentary of our channel, of our community. And I've always respected Ivan for that. So thank you, mate, for always showing the love and sticking up for us even when others were having digs at us, mate. I don't forget these things. And you've always been somebody that's always been being a top fella towards us. So, players I know that Liverpool are willing to sell. I'm going to try go from front to back. Kelleher for the right number, obviously. Costas, if the right offer came in. Tyler Morton. Wataru Endo. Fabio Carvalho. Nat Phillips. I think maybe one or two more, but off the top of my head, they're the main ones that I think Liverpool will be open. Lucho, do you know what? I don't want to go as far as to say that Liverpool would. Well, yeah, no, I think Liverpool wouldn't stand in the way of Lucho for the right offer because they'd spend the money on Anthony Gordon, and it would solve a headache because they want to bring in Anthony Gordon. Anthony Gordon wants to come to Liverpool. It's just about obviously timing. I think Vandenberg is another one. Yes, sorry, Vandenberg is another one that Liverpool would take an offer for. You know, now how many of these guys actually move on by the end of the window? I don't know the answer to. David Massett said last time we got a player from Real Sociedad, the rest was history. I said that to David Lynch earlier on in our video, actually. You know, the last time we went in under Rafael Benitez to Real Sociedad, things didn't work out too shabbily there whatsoever. Clark, Doak, Jones. So, Harris, Clark, there have been reports to say Liverpool would sell Bobby Clark. I don't like that idea personally. Ben Doak, Brentford on loan is a very strong possibility. There have been one or two reports to say Liverpool would accept an offer for Ben Doak. I'd like to think that that's not true because give him a year. I don't see the point of selling Ben Doak because if you give him a year in the Prem and he does well and Mo moves on, well then you've got a player ready to come in. A young, hungry player ready to come in who will have had a season in the Prem. And who was the other one on your list? Curtis Jones, I've never heard anyone say that the club are looking or willing to move Curtis Jones on. I personally would, but I can't sit here and say that I've ever heard any journalist or anybody say to me that the club would be willing to sell him. Jack, did I miss your super chat, bro? Oh, sorry, let me get that up on screen for you, Jack. My apologies, sir. Here we go. Coming up now, Jack. He said, let's go, Ivan. And F Kentucky Fried Indy. Yeah, we're definitely Team Ivan. We've always said that. You know, of the Ivan Indy Kayla wars, if they want to call them that, we're definitely on Team Ivan. Addy said, Craig, with the number of games we have to play, isn't it better to hold on to these squad players for depth? I mean, let's look at some of the... let's, for a second play, Zubimendi comes in. Then you've got Zubimendi, Gravenberch. Oh, also Endo is another player on that list for sale. Forgot to mention that. So, at the moment, let's say, we've got Zubimendi if he comes in, McAllister, Gravenberch, there's Endo still there, Stefan Bajcetic coming through. Then you've got your 10, so your Soboslais, your Jones, your Elliots. I think we're stacked. Honestly, I do. I think we're stacked. So fringe players moving on, I totally understand. I just disagree with some of the ones I've seen listed as potentially available for sale for various reasons. Soboslai can play the 6. Keep Endo for one more year minimum. The manager doesn't fancy him. It became very apparent in pre-season as well when he wasn't really getting starts, and he's been told of that as well, that he isn't going to be somebody that's going to be relied upon this season. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see Endo maybe moving on by the end of the transfer window. Right, look, ladies and gentlemen, it's 11 o'clock. We've not seen anything new come out. So I'm going to say goodnight to you all. It's been an amazing 2 hour and 15 minute stream, by the way. So thank you so much for that. Do hit that subscribe button for me before you head off if you're new in, and drop a like on the stream as well. I don't know what to say. You know, we got about 5,000 people in the chat tonight at one go. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much. I'll see you tomorrow. We'll have a video coming out tomorrow morning, of course, a news video tomorrow afternoon, and I'll be back tomorrow at 8:45 as well for the late night agenda. So thank you to everyone that came in tonight. You guys made me smile again. Love you to bits. And I'll see you tomorrow.